I'm the fucking Prince of Darkness. Who is this?
We're talking to Harold on the Sullivan Project podcast, Ozzy.
A little special introduction. And Greg will get to hear later on once we get to play this back. So we're going to talk a little bit.
You record something, then you're going to add me on afterwards.
Do I?
In the past, you've recorded stuff before me, but then you come and... Is this one of them?
No, I'm not recording nothing before this. Because usually ours will go long. So I haven't been doing that lately because this takes up a whole episode.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I only have a half episode, then I'll record a video and add the audio to the end of it. But I'm talking about an introduction. Since I didn't play, I always have music or introduction at the beginning. So I'm going to put that on later, but I don't want to spoil it and tell you. I don't want you to know until after, when it comes out, and everybody else will be the first to hear it, basically.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I meant by. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Lord Green here in a second, and I also want to mention one thing about mood, which I just did a review on last episode. I told Greg about, just real briefly about. And basically, it's just THC, and you don't need your medical marijuana card or anything but ID, and you can order it to your door online. And I tried a couple of things, and one thing I didn't mention was the cannabis soda, cola, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And it's only 10 milligrams CBD, 10 milligram THC, and it's like $24 for 6 cans. That's a lot of money. And it doesn't have a lot of sugar, and there's no caffeine, so I thought it would taste like crap. But it was like drinking Faygo, So I drank one.
Faygo?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I liked Faygo. I mean, I'm poor. I always was poor. When I was a kid, that's because we were poor.
I bet their Diet Orange is one of the best all-time diet pops ever.
Orange, the tea, the root beer. There's lots of different ones. But yeah, we were...
Black cherry soda is the bomb.
The black cherry, yeah, because we had lots of parties, picnics, and then get the cases of that. And it was right below the top pot, like the prices. So my mom used to get the bags of cereal. I mean, people don't remember. I don't know if they still have that, but they had the one shelf with the bags of cereal. Like instead of boxes, it was in big giant 10-pound bags or whatever. It was generic versions of the regular ones.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, "It's the same thing." No, it ain't, because it's all broke up and powdery and there's no sugar. So the cola's good, though. I just want to mention it actually was. So I do recommend people to try Mood, at least if you want to. And it's 20% off on your first order. And free shipping, $99 or more. They only charge $5.99 for shipping if you just get a couple things or whatever. And tell them the Sullivan Project podcast said something. Maybe, I don't know. I don't sponsor anything, but I did tell them, hey, if it works.
Well, maybe I will sponsor you.
That'd be cool. You know what I mean? Because I talked to the lady on the phone for like 2 hours that one day, just having her describe everything to me, how much it was, what was in what. Because they have mushrooms, they have all different other things. I'm like, I don't mess with. I only know what I know, and I do what I do. So you could get everything on there. They got stuff for women, all different mood stuff. It's not just weed, quote unquote. It's not THC. It's all different.
Cool if we could interview somebody that does the mushrooms, man.
Let us know. But
greens and shit. It just, I did them illegally like 40 years ago.
Hey, you want to try? You could go. You got a card? Go on there and try Mood.com. They're cheap. I mean,
I could go to Lord Green's and
oh yeah, they have them there too. Yep. Actually, we're going to talk about that because I asked them. They said they got mushrooms. My brother-in-law was like, I ain't had that since a long time ago, back in the day, and she's like, oh yeah, these are real good. I'm like, no, I can't do it. My little 70-pound self. If y'all haven't tuned in before, there's no video here at the moment, just audio in this.
Put it this way: when I was a young man and I did those, I needed at least a weekend to recover. Now I probably need at least a week to recover.
It's been 4 years and 2 months. I've been blind now because of my disease, and I've been in a wheelchair since I was like 8 or 9, a power wheelchair since I was like 10. I remember the first time I had a power wheelchair, they took it off me because I was running over people with it. And they said, you got to be more responsible. You know what I mean? I didn't care. I didn't look at it as my legs. I was just running people. I'm just running over kids at school.
Big boy.
Yeah, running over kids at school. Well, not really running them over, but going real fast.
Yeah, holy fuck! I never knew you were such a bully.
Well, no, I was just going fast, and like they would fall. Like I didn't really run them over, but
I bet you grabbed a couple asses while you were fucking.
No, but here's a story. Since you mentioned that, the only time ever, and this is no lie, the first time I ever grabbed a girl, touched a girl's butt. All right, I was in elementary, I think.
You grabbed a girl's butt.
Yeah, I was 10, 11 years old.
Fuck, Donald Trump, what the hell?
No, some kids dared me to do it. Yeah, I see. You know my personality. Yeah, you know my personality. I would never do that on my own, right? Even as a man.
Yeah.
Even as a man, I wouldn't do that. 47 years old, almost. But
well, you show up on the Epstein files, so you ain't.
I remember her name. But listen, she was 10, 11 years old, and she was wearing them like they wear now, them pants that they're like. The butt jiggles and everything, like there's no, they're legging, kind of like leggings.
And how old were you?
Like 10, 11 years old.
All right.
We were in elementary school, well, almost teenagers, young teenagers, maybe 12, 13. Yeah, so we were in elementary at the water faucet line, how they used to have the lines, and you go out and there'd be 3 or 4 people there to get water. And she had them like leggings there. Back then they had them, they weren't called leggings though, like almost like sweats, but they're real tight on the body, and they move. She didn't have no underwear, probably. Yeah, so you could see her butt. You could see her butt. You could see her butt jiggle when she.
My God, why don't you just sign up with the Trump administration? My God.
But listen, you could see her butt jiggle just standing there. You know what I mean? So.
Her butt was jiggling.
And she was a black girl, and her name was I don't want to say her name, but I actually run into her as an adult working around here lately, and I'm like, I remember, does she ever?
How she kicks your ass,
I wonder if she ever remembers that.
Oh, I'm sure she remembered.
Well, I didn't get to the story yet, but listen, the punchline. So I did that. I just didn't really, I just kind of like just barely touched it, letting squeeze her or nothing. And then she turned around and actually hit me, and she hit me, and it was like one of them movies. It was like one of them movies where the spit flew. She hit me in the mouth, and the spit flew out of my mouth.
Good for you.
Like in the movies, you know what I mean? Yeah, like in Rocky, you know how the boxer gets hit and the spit, and actually.
Yeah.
She did. I mean.
Well, you deserved it.
Maybe I was drooling a little or something. I don't know, but.
You were drooling? Oh my God, Harold! What the hell?
Because she couldn't have hit me enough.
My God, no wonder you voted for Trump.
She couldn't have hit me enough to actually do that unless I just was like, I was like, a little bit. Yeah, she hit me a little bit. My mouth got a little wet, and I was like, Jesus. I never did that again. Never, you know what I mean? Never got dared really into anything again to someone's, I didn't do that. But it taught me a lesson, yeah. I would never did that, and had they not kind of been like pointing at it and laughing, and then I thought it would be cool.
Your finger smell.
Oh, it wasn't nothing like that. It was just a real quick brush, like a fly would have been landed on her.
All right, Harold, settle down.
Yeah. So.
You're getting all excited.
No, you were asking me how it smells and all this. Shit. It was real quick. It lasted 1 second. I did that by the time.
Whatever, Donald Trump. I don't care.
She smacked me, and that was it. And,
all right.
And I don't even remember going to the water fountain much after that anymore. I was probably afraid. I was afraid of getting beat up at the water fountain by a female. But that's fine.
Well, you deserve that, Harold.
This is back in the 90s, 1990s, for people who weren't even around back then. But you wanted to mention Lord Green, right? I mentioned them last podcast, the place where we could go. You could go in town. Well, you can tell them where they're at and what's up with it.
They're down Augusta Avenue in Ambridge, like right before where Rite Aid, who's closing down.
Pennsylvania. Yeah, in Pennsylvania.
Ambridge, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Because we don't know. People listening might be from another country.
There's a bunch of hotties that work there.
I got people from on YouTube literally messaging me from like a different country, and they don't really speak English, but they like music. And I'm like, man, I wish I had a way that I could transcribe my stuff into a different voice, because people don't think about, what if someone's in India and listening to your podcast? They don't know what
I know we from India listening to you.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. There's a lady, I forget what her name
She's from
is.
India?
Yeah, and she just puts like smiley faces and hearts, and that's how she communicates. Yeah, she's left like 4 or 5 comments on different videos, and she just puts. But
yeah, I think she wants to see you naked.
Oh, we don't talk about that on here. She speaks broken English, kind of. So it's like I don't know, Russian, Indian. I'm not sure, or somebody pretending to be that way. I don't know, but I don't. I'm not doing that. But yeah, so talk about Lord Green. What's your experience there?
They're fantastic, man. I bought a vape. I don't know what you call it, a vape pen or whatever.
Yeah, disposable, yeah.
And after a couple of days, it stopped working, and it was an expensive one. It was almost $60.
Yeah.
And I brought it back, and the girl who answered the phone said, "Oh, they don't." And the owner came out, and she said, "Oh, yeah," she gave me a new one.
Yeah. But you've been going there a long time, and like you said, you spend a lot of money. We don't know if they'll do that for everybody.
Oh, not that much, but they were real happy, and they said they just give us good reviews,
Yeah, I told them about the podcast.
Because,
yeah.
Like I said, I'm on disability just like you are.
Yeah.
And what I spent on it was a lot of money for me.
Yeah.
And I expect it to last a long time.
Me too, yeah. Yours should last longer because you don't do it as much, yeah.
Yeah, so, right.
That should last you. You know what? If one of those 3 grams that you got could last me a week at the most, it got to last you 2 or more, probably.
I better last me more than that.
Really? Yeah. It depends, because once they start going and they get lower and lower, they burn quicker. You know what I mean?
Well,
so if you're,
then I'll do a big hit for you now.
If you're down to like a
quarter, I'll hit the button. I'll hit the button. Wait.
No, you don't have to hit the button.
Well, if you want a bigger hit, you hit the button.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they told me.
I don't hit the button. See, they told me there was no button. No, I went through that whole who's on first. Like I explained, it's like I lose my sight and the world loses their mind. You know? Mm-hmm. People can't explain things or don't understand, and they just don't know. But no, it's good enough for me without hitting the button. I don't know if you can change the temperature or anything on that. I just know it's working. Mine is. Because I got one called
white. Say, if you get it too hard or too cold, that could be why it doesn't work. But I had it in the same room temperature.
Did you ever try?
Air conditioned home.
Did you try hitting the button 3 times on it and see if it changes color?
I tried everything, Harold.
Okay. I mean, on the new one to see if it changes the color of the light.
I'll try it right now.
If you hit it 3 times, that changes the color of the light sometimes to a different temperature.
Nope.
On the regular pens, anyway. It'll go
whatever, Harold. It don't work.
It'll be red, green, and blue.
Well, this one's all light blue.
Okay. Because blue is usually the middle temperature if they have temperature.
Like Mary Beth's eyes.
Yeah. Oh, she got blue eyes? Yeah. Those are the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ran into this. I used to know this girl one time. She worked at the mall at Charlie's, actually. And she had crystal blue eyes. She was pregnant. She was standing there handing out the samples. You know how they used to have somebody at Charlie's Steaks at the mall? Standing there in the food court handing out free samples of cheesesteaks. And that was her job, standing there pregnant at 19. I was in my 20s, early 30s. And I just talked to her going by, like she was trying to give me a sample. And I'm like, no thanks. And I started talking to her. And here she ended up pregnant. But she was one of them ones, as soon as you look at her eyes, it's like, oh no, that's it. And I looked at her eyes, they were blue like that. And I was like crystal blue. And I was like, oh God, I can't talk to her. Because you start falling. Well, if you see certain eyes or certain people, like you just kind of get mesmerized, you know. And I don't want that. And plus, I found out she was only 19, and no daddies for the baby. There was no daddy. You know what I mean? Jesus. That's another story. But yeah, so we recommend them. So we'll check out Lord Green.
Yeah.
On Merchant Street.
One thing I could say about Lord Green's, if you're not sure, and like you're in pain or whatever, or you have anxiety.
Yeah.
Don't talk to them, and you don't know what you're doing. Like, I didn't know what I was doing when I first got there, and I didn't understand THCA.
Yeah, all them different numbers and stuff.
Anyone behind that counter is well-versed.
They know, yeah.
They know what they're talking about. They're experts
See, that's
on
something
it,
I could do.
And they will tell you what's the best for you.
buy part ownership of that.
I mean,
I could work at a place.
I can't guarantee everything will work for you, but it works for me as far as paying.
Me too. Yeah, and you told me a couple times. You've been telling me, and I was like, nah, because I'm just, you know what I mean, just like that mood. But you know what? I tried it, and you know what? I'm gonna tell people what I always tell people. The message can come from anywhere. Okay, and think about what that means. I listened to you. You had to tell me a couple times. You know what I mean? But I listened to you. The message came from you for me to go try it, and I didn't hear it anywhere else. My nephew told me there was a place in Ambridge where he was getting stuff like last year or something.
There's actually 2 places in Ambridge.
There's a couple places.
Yeah. Shop that used to be next door to where.
Yeah. So the message can come from anywhere, you know.
Shit, but I don't think their shit is good.
Well, this place here is good. You told me about it. I went, and it was just.
And I believe they're a franchise.
It was the last time. Yeah, it was like the last time you said it again. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try it a little bit and see, and then hey, you know what I mean? And if it's not okay, then it's not. And I still got my dispensary and my medical card, but daggone, if I can go there and spend half of that, and they got other stuff too, because I've been smoking and vaping whatever the same stuff for years and the same brands, and it's you know you want something different, and then they're right there, and I just don't have to.
You go the days they have sales on different shit, you know.
I like that. I told them just stay open, and you'll get some customers. That's all. You know? So we're going to talk about Ozzy here in a second with his password. This is a shame, you know what I mean? I'm still getting over. I mean, not really getting over, just having a moment. I'm just grieving, I guess is what you call it. I don't know. I never experienced that before, but it's just when it's just on your mind and you're not really upset, but you're just chilling. You know what I mean about it. So that's what I'm dealing with. I want to mention a book I just got finished listening to. Audio book, and then a couple little movies, and then we'll get to Ozzy. It's actually called Channeled Messages of Hope. All right, it's an audio book, but you can get the regular version. It's on Audible, the audio. And it says, this just came out, so this lady supposedly is channeling famous people, right? Like she's like through her body, and she's talking with different accents and everything. And I've heard people supposedly channel before. And some of them talk in their own voice. Some of them do like a deep, like, or like a ghostly. Some of them try to talk in the other person's personality and voice. But anyway, this lady, there's like 20-some interviews that the guy does, and this lady supposedly channels Albert Einstein, Tesla, is it St. Francis? Something. I mean, literally all these different people, like Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt. People through history, famous people come in this lady's body, and they talk through her, and they ask them questions about the Earth today and how things could be better, you know, like important stuff. So I just want to let people know, make your own mind up, and like I said about everything, and just listen. Maybe some
could be a lie.
Huh? Maybe some people.
It all be a lie, and it could all be true. I don't know.
Maybe some people can channel.
There's no way to prove it. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's neat that these people now are coming out with stuff and they're not worried, hey, that they're going to be ready, because they're taking a chance, you know, the people are going to say that, they're crap, they're fake, and they're full of this and all that. So, just like the podcast I listened to, oh man, what is it called? I can't remember what the name of it was, but I told you about it, where the kids who can't talk, what are they called? Autistic kids speak through their minds, like telepathically. And it's a podcast, and they're trying to do more research on that anyway. I can't remember what it's called, but go check that out too. They kind of got me into that. But you can't prove one thing or another really either, you know what I mean? Because one person could be in one room and one in another, and one could say something that the other one was reading, but how do you really prove that is for real? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they do tests like that, you know. Have the boy that can't speak type in something or write down something that the mother's looking at in a different room. How do you like disprove that? But it really doesn't prove much to go on either, So I don't know, but it's cool that it's out there. So I listened to it and just to see, and I didn't really feel much. Like you said, I usually feel stuff when I listen to stuff, but this could be just transcribed of what actually happened and put into an audio book instead of the recorded sessions is what I'm thinking too. So that's why I don't really, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it being made as audio, it might have been made and put into a book, and then they made it into an audio book reading it, but it's not really the audio tapes is what I'm trying to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's called Channeled Messages of Hope, and they're asking about global warming. I mean, I learned some stuff about science and that, because I didn't know that they said, by the year 2050, the temperature could be up a couple more degrees or something, which would be catastrophic for the planet. And it mentions about how
Trump's not fucking paying attention to any fucking,
Well, he doesn't care apparently. And 19% of the population, they said.
He does not care about you. He does not care about me.
19% of the population could be in danger. They said, that's a lot.
Yeah, but that should be in you because we're on.
And this is in a couple of years.
Medicare, and so. He just shot his big beautiful
I'm still sick too, my nose. But I just learned a lot.
Harold, do you realize that, within a couple months or a couple years, that you could lose everything?
Well, I can't do nothing about it.
Security to your EBT.
I can't do nothing about that. I'll be on here full time, online, and if people want to help out, God bless. Hey.
But Harold, what if he catch people taking care of you?
Well, then I guess I'll have to go somewhere, and then somebody will have to be paid to take care of me. They won't do it for free.
Well, that ain't it, man.
Well, then I'll be on the street and homeless and not being taken care of, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's probably where you're probably going to be.
Hey, no different than now. That could happen any moment, dude. What's different, right?
It's much different because Trump's a complete ass.
No, I'm serious. Right now, that could happen to me right now. So I live that way every day. Because of other circumstances. But you just wanted to get a little bit of politics in there.
Hell, you don't realize, man. But he signed this bill that could be devastating for me and you.
Well, we'll figure it out.
They're fucking Nazis.
Ooh, don't say that.
People like you, they want to wipe you out, man. They don't care if you live or die.
We ain't got no beef. Well, we might have a beef, but my sister.
It ain't about being a beef, Harold.
No, I said beef.
They think you have no productive values.
No, I said beef because you said the word, the Nazi word. I said we ain't got no. I don't understand
what you're talking about.
Huh? You said a bad word. I
don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, you said a bad word.
What bad word?
The Nazi.
What?
And Hitler's word.
Nazi?
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
Yeah, that's what the fuck they are, Harold.
Well, I don't.
Him, his ice, he's winding people up, sending them to concentration camps. What do you
Oh, shit. I don't know.
Yeah, Harold.
I'm a guru.
I can't be on this podcast, okay?
Huh?
I can't be on this podcast, okay?
I'm a guru.
You don't realize how fucked you are.
Well, I'm a guru. I try not to look at all that dirty
well, you know what?
Bad stuff.
This ain't gonna having a productive, open mind or whatever. It ain't gonna help you. Okay?
Yeah, my mind's open,
You're fucked. You're fucked.
I don't want to worry about all that. You know what I'm saying?
Fred, 724.
Oh shit, his number.
513-5741.
Okay.
2 options on the screen.
Oh, his number just came out
call
there.
is selected.
That was very weird. And I don't know what the hell that was. I hadn't had him on here for a while because he wanted to talk about politics, and I thought he was joking. And I don't really want to sit and talk about politics, but this right here is a bunch of negative stuff. But on the Sullivan Project podcast, we're all about love and light, y'all. So I don't know why he hung up the phone or why he's getting upset. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to finish, and he wouldn't even let me get to. We've been on there for a while, and I don't do the podcast that long, and I don't know what he was talking about with other stuff recorded before him either. Like, what do you mean? Why does that matter? it's your choice if you want to deal with certain energies or not. You know what I mean? So, and he hung up, so that's fine. He's the one that stood me up on the last time we were trying to record. He didn't call back, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, let me get to Hollywood Heroes. Let me talk about the stuff I was going to talk about, and then I'm going to go here. But I do love y'all. That's just weird there, in my opinion. Well, not weird, but odd. So Hollywood Heroes is about Harrison Ford. I recommend this. It's a documentary about his whole career, all the way up till like the last Indiana Jones, I think, or the last Star Wars, maybe the last Star Wars one that he did, and how he was older when he started, and he got roles that people didn't think about. How he became a pilot later, and he wasn't afraid of snakes in real life, and just all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to be doing some reviews of some Star Wars stuff coming up here soon. Yeah, he's talking about all these things. I deal with stuff as it comes. That's a lesson right there. Maybe he did that on purpose. I don't know. Greg is the jokester, the prankster, but sometimes it's a little too much. I'm only my energy's a certain way. You know what I mean? And I've been sick and not have much energy, and I had to do all I could to have the energy to do this podcast tonight. I don't want to have all that angriness that he just said. So, but I recommend that. And then The Marvels is a new Disney movie, which I checked out. And then I talked about Madam Web recently. It's on Disney Plus, The Marvels. And it's okay. Wait a minute. I feel like I already talked about this. Computer, what are my stickies?
I found 50 notes. Load Lonnie Anderson channel messages of Hope Hollywood Heroes, The Crush of the Marvels. Boys 2 men.
Computer, stop. I feel like I already talked about The Marvels. But anyway, The Marvels, in case I did, or I didn't, see, The Marvels it's years later after Miss Marvel, and, or Captain Marvel, and the little girl who was in The Marvels comes back, and she's a grown-up, and she gets these powers with this vortex, and it's just really, like, they're making movies just to make them, is my opinion. But I give it like a 6.5 out of 10. And then The Crush, I need to talk about that. That movie, actually, I give that 7.5 out of 10. And it's a movie, Elisa Silverstone, maybe her first movie. She was like 16 playing a 14-year-old, and she had a crush on this older guy who ended up being Cary Elwes, who was in Saw, the doctor in the first one. And I didn't know who he was till years later. I mean, I knew him in Saw, and then I remembered him from when I was younger in The Crush. But the story, The Crush, is about a guy who moves in, he rents a place, and his family's daughter has a crush on him and does all kinds of messed up stuff. And, I mean, she goes to stuff, and this is crazy. I think it's rated R. It's supposed to be kind of a horror, but not really a horror, more like a thriller, freaking stalker type thing. But she's really good in it, and it's a good movie. The Crush, and then The Marvels, and then Hollywood Heroes, and then we got that there. And then we're going to talk about Ozzy, because Ozzy passed, and we were supposed to talk about Ozzy with Greg, because he said he knows a lot about Ozzy. He's been to concerts and that, but that's fine. Maybe he just can't be on the podcast. That was weird. That was childish as an adult. But I'm going to sign off here soon. And I love Ozzy. I've been checking out the old show, the Osbournes. It's free right now online. I recommend it. He was like the first reality dad, And I was in my early 20s or so when that came on, I think. And for me, he was kind of like a role model. I mean, not a dad, but like he was the fatherly figure. And the stuff they got away with then, and the way they cussed at their kids and their kids acted, they could never do that today. It's so hilarious, the stuff they call each other, Jack and Kelly. And Kelly did try to have a singing career, but I don't think it really turned out. And but Ozzy, I mean, Shot in the Dark, Crazy Train, Close My Eyes Forever, No More Tears, Hellraiser. I mean, I could go on, and of course you could too. Black Sabbath, and then when he's alone, his guitarists were the great. great, especially with Black Sabbath. And he just had something about it, and he's rare because he sang with that accent as well. Most accents don't come through, but his was like a mesmerizing, just put you in this place, and no matter what he was singing, just like kind of like almost Elvis. Even when he just talked, there was something there, like a vibration. So I just want to say I love y'all, and if y'all haven't tuned in before, please check out Harold Sullivan on Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78 on TikTok, and the Harold Sullivan #35 Facebook, and email hs19782015 at outlook.com, and you can call 724-513-1472. Love y'all. Be the light, and love's a choice, and so is the hate.